Tensions are rising again in the Cayuga Nation. The conflict stems from a conflict between sides on the native land in Seneca County. As 13 WHAM's Dalton Williams reports, it's not the first time this has happened. Dalton?
Yes, in February of 2020, tensions turned violent between the group who supports the federally recognized leader of the Cayuga Nation and the group who opposes his leadership. That continues to be an issue in Seneca County. Sheriff's deputies were called to this scene for the report of suspicious activity. What they found on arrival, a conflict over the demolition of buildings ordered by Cayuga Nation leader Clint Halftown.
I don't know where the demolition permit came from. I don't know what happened next. But next thing I know, we heard on one of the guys' walkie-talkies, "You're okay to demo." And that's when the payloader went from this corner all the way behind that barn.
But at the heart of this dispute is something much larger. Deputies say it's a question about the legitimacy of these two factions and leader Clint Halftown, who is the federally recognized leader of the Cayuga Nation.
Let's go!
The dispute between the two sides has been simmering since this conflict in February of 2020, which grew violent, and sheriff's deputies and state police were also called in. This time, deputies say a barn and house were destroyed. Halftown says it was uninhabitable and the site of illegal activity. But people like Leanna Young disagree.
It was very habitable. We held summer youth in that house 3 hours before they took it down. We had summer youth children. We had our group there 3 hours before that happened.
Now, we are expecting an update from the Cayuga Nation in just a few minutes. That update will be published on our website, 13wham.com. Jenny?
We are now hearing from the witness of a deadly hit and run as Rochester police search for the driver. The family of 19-year-old Jared Jones says he was struck and killed on Lake Avenue near Burley Road early yesterday. 13 WHAM Cheyenne Walker spoke to a man who lives near the scene and witnessed that tragedy.
Passing us or trying to get to this trail or where he was.
Ethan Mastrodonato lives on Burley Road. He says he and his brother were out for their nightly walk, but decided to take a different route that night.
We usually take the trail behind the house, which is fine, or we go just around the street, but we rarely take that walk. And it was the odds of it had to be seriously 1 in 10 million. Like the odds of us seeing that happen.
As they walk down Lake Avenue, they notice a bicyclist coming up beside them. That's when Mastrodonato says the man was suddenly struck head-on by a black Dodge Ram.
We didn't really notice the truck until it literally sounded like an explosion or a gunshot or something. And then we turned around and the dude, he slowed down, the truck slowed down, and then it sped off. Pieces of the truck actually broke off, a huge chunk of the truck, actually, the fender broke off. So, I mean, he must have hit him pretty square, and he just sped right off.
Mastrodonato says he and 3 others called the police, and officers quickly got to the scene as they tried to help the man.
My neighbor ran over to him and tried to comfort him and everything. The bicycle was destroyed, obviously. Yeah, it was a pretty bad situation.
Mastrodonato says he is surprised this is his first time witnessing a crash like this.
People speed all the time. I mean, I'm honestly surprised we haven't seen anything yet directly, because I mean, it's all the time. I mean, people speeding, people flying down here on bikes, whether illegal or legal, whatever. But yeah, it's all the time.
And I also spoke with Jared Jones' father, who says he's remembering his son as a gentle, peaceful, kind spirit. Again, police are still looking for the driver in this crash. Anyone with information is asked to call 911 or the Crime Stoppers at hotline 423-9300.